Three, two, one, and go.
Craig joined.
Now recording.
Hello, and welcome back to the Fight for Liberty podcast. I'm your host, JJ, and today I will be hosting alongside my wonderful co host, Alfie.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty good. How are you today, Alfie?
I'm doing okay.
Good,
Hanging in there.
good. Um, what have we been up to lately? I think we missed a week last week, so apologies for that. I can't remember. It may have been week before
Has it
last.
been a week or two? No, wait. Has it been 2 weeks since the last episode?
It may have been 2 weeks. I'm not sure, actually. Either way, if we did miss an episode, we apologize. If we didn't, good. Here we are. Um,
Stay on track.
yes. As you guys know, all the regular stuff, contact us if you have any suggestions. Join our Discord and follow us on other platforms for more ways to contact us. And with that, let's get into it. First article comes from BBC News. Tesla investigated over self-driving cars driving on wrong side of the road. Tesla is being investigated by the U.S. government after reports that the firm's self-driving cars had broken traffic laws, including driving on the wrong side of the road and not stopping for red lights. It said it was aware of 58 reports where the electric cars had committed such violations, according to a filing from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. An estimated 2.9 million cars, wow, equipped with full self-driving tech will fall under the investigation. Tesla, whose boss,
A
Elon
lot of
Musk,
cars.
that is a lot of cars, recently became the world's first half-trillionaire. I did not know that. Congratulations, Elon Musk. Has been
Was it
approached.
8 hours ago?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, this is like fresh. We're recording this on a Thursday prior to the Friday that this will release for context. So this happened on Wednesday ish. Or no, earlier Thursday. Um the National Highway Association will preliminary evaluation will quote assess the scope, frequency, and potential safety consequences of the full self-driving mode. In this mode, which costs extra for Tesla owners, the cars can make lane changes and turns, but drivers must always be alert to take over at any time. According to the report, there were 6 crashes caused by cars stopping at a traffic light before setting off while the light was still red. So it came to a complete stop, and then it just kept going. It just went again anyway. That's kind of interesting.
I hope those people are okay.
Yes. 4 of the crashes resulted in injuries. So only 4 of 6 actually had injuries. That's good. That only 4 of the 6. I mean, obviously, I wish it would have been 0, but better than
Yeah.
all 6. And I'm glad there was no casualties. The traffic authority said Tesla had taken action, quote, to address the issue of cars going through red lights at a particular intersection in Maryland, where the problem repeatedly occurred. The agency will also investigate reports of vehicles going into the opposite lane while making a turn. Ooh. It said some of the reported incidents gave, quote, little notice to a driver or opportunity to intervene. I mean, that's fair. If you're sitting there at the red light just expecting to be able to stop, and your car just takes off. I don't feel like you'd have to have insane reaction time or see it coming to correct yourself. Goodness, it says Tesla is already facing an investigation from the same organization over the car's door locking mechanism after cases where children were reportedly trapped inside of the cars. In some instances, car owners had to smash the windows to let them out. That's crazy. Tesla recently unveiled cheaper models of 2 of its most popular cars as it tries to compete with the cheaper electric vehicles often made by Chinese companies. For some reason, this article then chooses to mention that its boss, Elon Musk, was a close ally of Donald Trump before facing a public fallout earlier in the year. Not sure why that's relevant. But I guess so. BBC News.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last line. It just threw that in there at the end.
One of the last line is.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh wait, are you getting?
Oh yeah, I didn't see
Oh.
that. In July, he announced the formation of a new political party, the American
Also
Party,
irrelevant.
in an attempt to rival the Republicans and Democrats. Again, that's completely
Has a lot to do with the Tesla.
Yes, of course, because his political affiliation is why these cars are doing this.
Yeah.
All right, BBC.
All
News.
because the America Party. Is that even still up, like a thing, or is it just a joke?
What, the America Party?
Yeah.
I don't think it's still up. And if it is, then I'm sure everybody else is unaware of it as we are. What are your thoughts on self-driving cars, Alfie?
Not really a fan of them. I think you should learn how to drive.
I agree.
I guess they're kind of nice in some instances, like I don't know, maybe old people,
Yeah,
the elderly.
that's fair. No, I agree. Actually, I don't think they're necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally would never trust one. The most I would trust is I've seen on some cars, not like smart cars, but I've seen some cars have auto braking. Even that I'm a little skeptical of. But I guess it's kind of nice. I would never
You should never rely on it.
No, never rely on it, but I guess it could be cool if there's like your reaction time genuinely couldn't keep up. I think it probably what happened and in this scenario and why I'm not really a fan of self-driving cars is I'm sure that the drivers were just not paying attention because they got lazy because the car's driving for them.
Yeah.
But the fact you have to spend extra for it and now it's under investigation. If they do away with it, I think Tesla should refund that extra.
Yeah, or make the whole car free for the injuries. You pay them all of whatever the Tesla costs.
Yes. Yes.
The fact that they had to go through that.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't personally have any beef per se with the Tesla company or Elon Musk specifically. I don't have an opinion on him in a positive or negative direction. But I'm just not a fan of self-driving like smart cars like that. It's just not my thing personally, regardless of who makes them. For this reason, this seems like it's should have been expected. But I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of like the concept of like the smart car and like, electric cars,
Yes.
but I'm not too crazy about self-driving.
Neither am I. No,
I mean, it sounds cool like in concept. Like I've definitely like thought about that like as a little kid like what if cars could drive themselves?
yes. You're just sitting there.
But yeah. But uh, I don't. I mean, what was it? 2.9 million cars
That's
are under investigation.
That's insane.
Or, well, yeah, equipped with the self-driving.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be brutal. If I mean, I don't really know I'm not really sure how this would work. Like, what would happen from here? Oh, it's now illegal to use self-driving cars. Like, that's really all I could see happening, or a recall on that specific model, maybe.
Maybe. And like more, maybe like more work on it, more like okay, like this cannot happen again. We got to make sure
Yes.
that because like, it really shouldn't malfunction on that like that, especially if like your life is at threat. I mean,
Yeah, especially that severely. So,
Yeah.
yeah, 6 accidents on mostly in the same spot is kind of bizarre, in my opinion. But still, I don't think that should ever happen. I think it's unfortunate, and I think Tesla should be held accountable because they did advertise self-driving. I don't. I mean, I want to say 50-50 because it does specify with the Tesla thing that you have to be aware. But at the same time, it sounds like the instances that caused the crashes happened so quick, the driver probably could not react, which would make it Tesla's fault. So I'm not really sure who is directly to blame for this.
Yeah. Well, it's just like when it does something like that's completely wrong, I gotta put Tesla
That's true.
accountable for that.
That's true.
Like going at a red light, like it said, like
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
Stop
I guess you
moving.
could say like always keep your eyes on the road just in case for that. But I mean, I feel like you shouldn't have to drive like that, just worried that your brake's gonna just
Speed up.
you're just gonna go forward. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And going into the wrong lane thing, I mean, that's honestly just kind of laughable.
Yeah, that's purely Tesla's fault. That's not even the
Yeah,
drivers. Yeah. That's nuts. Moral of the story is do not rely on self-driving cars.
yeah. Just and always just keep your eyes on the road, regardless.
Exactly. Just yeah. Yes, I agree. Anything else you'd like to say on the matter before we move on to the next topic? What was that?
Don't take any.
Your mic cut out.
Huh?
What was that?
Oh, I just said, don't don't fall asleep while you're driving.
Yes, exactly. A self-driving car or not self-driving car. Either way, just don't fall
Yeah.
asleep.
Actually, I think you have to put your like hands on. From what I've heard, you have to put your hands like on the wheel and stuff.
That's good.
Uh,
Maybe just
to make sure, like the self-driving still goes.
I don't understand what the purpose of the
Uh,
self-driving is then. It just sounds like you're driving at
uh,
that point. You're sitting in your
um,
car with your hands on the wheels
maybe I gotta look that up actually.
and your feet by the
That's what
pedals.
I've heard.
Like you might as well just drive at that
Do
point.
you
You're halfway
do
there.
you need?
Like how lazy are you? Like I don't want to turn my arm slightly.
Well, maybe that's like the justification for like the intervention thing.
Maybe.
Like, oh, like always make sure your hands are there just in case you have to intervene.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. That you need to keep your hands. Yeah, yes, you must keep your hands on the wheel when using Tesla's autopilot or full self-driving, because these are hands-on features requiring driver supervision. Assistant- Okay. Yeah, so you just got to be like it mentioned in the article, you have to be alert, and I guess that's one of the things.
That's good then. But still, you should be able to trust it to stop at a red light or stay stopped at a red light, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next article. Israeli cabinet ratifies Gaza ceasefire and hostage deal with Hamas. Israel's government has ratified a ceasefire with the Palestinian militant group Hamas on Friday, clearing the way to suspend hostilities in Gaza within 24 hours and free Israeli hostages held there within 72 hours after that. The Israeli cabinet. Wait, when is this article posted? This was uploaded 10 hours ago. The Israeli cabinet approved the deal early Friday morning, roughly 24 hours after mediators announced the agreement, which caused for the release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the start of a phased withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza under U.S. President Donald Trump's initiative to end the war in Gaza. S- Looking through the article a little bit more, it says this has been the biggest step yet in the last 2 years, or the biggest step towards ending the conflict in the last 2 years of war, which over 67,000 Palestinians have been killed. So, it's about time. 2 years, this conflict has been going on. Lots of destruction. Hopefully,
Yeah.
this should be it, right? I don't foresee.
Hopefully.
What are your
I
thoughts?
mean, uh, I don't know. I'm skeptical of. I mean, just a little bit skeptical. I mean, hopeful but skeptical, just about how this will play out. Because ceasefire. I think there was a ceasefire, um, November, like last year, the year before, or somewhere around that time. I think I could be wrong, but um, I think uh, Israel has like not respected the ceasefire.
Yeah.
Um, I just I hope even with back in the summer with Iran and Israel, they both agreed to a ceasefire, and then they started attacking each other again. I just
I hope this is the
um
last time, to be honest.
yeah, I hope that they both uh you know stick with their word and they just stop killing each other.
Yes.
And I would personally call for two-state solution because I think for so long you've had constant fighting between the two. I feel like if they were just their own independent countries, hopefully that would just go well.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's gone on too long. I think it's about time for change. I hope, as you said, I hope that this is consistent as opposed to the
Yes.
last one that you mentioned, because that would be unfortunate if it gets broken again. And I mean, it's conflict. Conflict's conflict. I don't think there should be. I think there should be as little conflict as possible, and hopefully, this brings an end to it for both sides. Hopefully, neither of them break it this time. Um, because yeah, I mean, it's gone on long enough.
Yeah. I really hope that Trump can uh, like like enforce this
Yes.
because because leader of the free world. Um, I think especially with his promises too, and with Ukraine and Russia. I hope
Yeah,
that
I was
he
about to
can,
mention that as well. Go
about
ahead.
Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, I hope they're next.
Yeah. Um, I just I want to see peace, and I hope Trump could really deliver on the promises of making sure that there is no more fighting
Yes.
and come up with some solution to all of this.
Yes, I hope so.
And after, if this is done, I like just mentioned, same with Russia and Ukraine, because that's been going on what, like 3.5 years now.
Far too long, honestly. Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope to see that within this term, within this election term, at the very least.
Yeah.
I I think that should be doable, but I'm obviously not an expert. I would hope that it's doable, because again, like you said, like what, 3 years? Do we really need how many years are left in this election term? Two, a little.
Well, we're in January. It'll be the first year.
Okay, so yeah, a little over 3 years. If it needs another almost 4 year, or if it needs another 3 years, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and yeah. It's just. I mean, the whole thing is just pointless. And seeing like kind of the hostilities with Russia, I think this is going to be a tricky one to come to peace.
Yes, that's true. But we have also seen hostilities with Israel in the past, as you mentioned, with the ceasefire being broken. So this one could also be tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I think though it's a little more simple. I mean, you could definitely say it's complicated, but I think Israel wants the hostages, and the Palestinians want them to stop bombing Gaza and want them to pull out of Gaza.
Yes.
I think I think it's trickier though, in my opinion, with Russia and Ukraine because like Russia wants like the certain territories, Crimea, and I think Donetsk. I think I could be butchering that, but some of the territories, and then Ukraine is unwilling to give up anything an inch of territory.
Yes.
So I honestly I'd be impressed to see Trump pull off peace with Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah. I just hope it happens, because like
Yeah.
it's gone on long enough. I I don't know. I feel like it gets to a point
I
where it's no longer productive.
yeah. I do think to a certain degree that Putin wants peace, but what does that entail?
Yeah.
And is it like too do is it too much? Yeah, it is the question of being would would Ukraine have to compromise too much more than they're willing?
Yeah. Yeah. They just need to figure out some sort of middle ground at this point, because they both are too passionate in what they want. Not passionate, but like stubborn, I guess, rather. They both,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's kind of the problem. I
Yeah, I think that's the perfect description. They're just both too stubborn.
Yes, and I hope that we can get to something without the United States getting too much more involved in terms of. I don't think we haven't deployed troops, have we?
No.
Yeah,
But I oh sorry.
I hope it doesn't get to
What
that
was it?
point. Really, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I was gonna say, but I do know like um I know there's a whole thing with like NATO shooting Russian aircraft down or like drones and stuff, and that's kind of been a whole thing, which that that doesn't it's tensions are rising. Let me
Yeah.
just say that.
Yes, I agree. Didn't Poland? Isn't Poland getting involved, or is that some? That was separate from the Russia Ukraine, right? That was Russia Poland conflict. Almost, it was averted, but it almost occurred earlier this
I
month.
think there was something like that. Yeah, I think there's something like that.
Yeah, the last thing we
Which
need is a world war at this point, honestly.
yeah, yeah,
There's just so much conflict. It's terrible. Everywhere. There's conflict between countries, there's conflict within countries,
yes,
there's conflict within neighborhoods. It's a sad time we live in. All I can advise for the viewer or listener of the podcast right now is just Just be kind. Just avoid conflict. You know, it's not necessary. There doesn't need to be there doesn't need to be debates over these things. I mean, there can be dialogue, but I don't think there needs to be fights. I that's pretty dividing. I've heard a lot about certain things like that dividing people, and I think that's a negative mentality that should be avoided. Just overall.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it appears that this conflict is moving in the right direction. I think, again, I just hope both sides behave, to be honest. That's what it boils down to with this, not with Israel, Palestine. Palestine. I think they both need to hopefully respect the ceasefire for as long as possible. Because we don't need conflict. It's just end it, squash the beef, as they say.
Yeah, I'm just glad that it's like I feel like this is like the biggest step of progress in a while, and ever what I've seen kind of from like the article here, some of the videos, a lot of people seem very happy.
Yes, I heard there's cheering in the streets of Gaza, even in the rubble. They're just happy for it to be over, which is good. I think both sides should be happy it's over.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It makes me happy because definitely there's been a lot of suffering on both sides, but mostly in Gaza. So
True. Yeah.
it's good to see progress being made and just diplomacy, talking. That's just what needs to happen at this point.
Yeah, like I mentioned, just a dialogue it makes a world of difference. A dialogue versus an argument is a huge difference. And
Yeah, and that's. Oh, sorry. Were you saying something else?
that goes for you and your peers, and that goes for countries. I think that's
Yeah.
just what it boils down to. It goes for world leaders as well as much as it goes for you and the guy you see when you check your mail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Good wisdom.
Yes. That's all. We'd be dropping all the wisdom here on the Fight for Liberty
Oh yeah,
podcast. Of course. Of course.
definitely.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's a hateful world we live in, or hateful time or it's a hateful world. But right now, I feel like with the how easy it is to spread across social media, we touched on the topic of social media last episode, so I won't get too heavy into that. If you're interested in our takes, go watch the last episode if you haven't. But social media honestly is not helping. It's fueling the hate. It causes more division, stuff along those lines, and that's
Yeah, it's
probably
extremely polarizing.
yes, and that's probably what has caused so much, uh, like just disagreements and problems and conflict boils down a lot to social media.
Yeah, I agree. It's awful. But you know, just talk to people.
Yes,
Dialogue instead of just being so caught up in your echo chamber.
exactly. It's healthy. Talk to people you don't
Yes.
agree
Yeah.
with respectfully. Obviously,
Yes.
they're not being respectful. Don't force it, but you can try. You don't have to meet. You don't have to meet their energy. I feel like that's another issue. Don't fight fire with
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. No, definitely. Just if someone's being too difficult, you don't have to talk to them. If they're being hateful, threatening,
Right. Yeah.
you
If
know,
it
let them out of your life.
Exactly. If you and your buddy are having a political discussion and he starts insulting you over your political view, that's not constructive. It's not going to get anywhere. Just have a dialogue, not a fight. And that's where a lot of people get confused. Is their dialogues turn into fights, and then it's a fight, and the fight's not constructive. It's destructive.
Yeah, which is something I do admire. Uh, Looking at how I feel like the Trump administration, in a way, is like about talking and negotiations, which does lead to peace. So I'm glad to see that.
Yes.
Just hopefully it consistent and you just more solutions arise from this
Right. Yeah. Because
across all the problems in the world.
yes, yes, it's we just want just peace. Does it? I mean, I think that every side should want that. I don't think it should be a
Yes,
left
yes.
versus right. It should be a peace versus peace, more peace. The peace. There should be so much peace. You guys are arguing over who's more peaceful, to the point where you're proving how peaceful you are. It's just a piece off, and then it's just so. Okay, I don't even know. Anything else you'd like to say on the conflict?
Let's have a
Alfie?
peace off
So,
next podcast.
yeah, yeah. First ever peace off. We have guests come up, two guests, and they try to prove who's more peaceful.
Yeah,
Have a peace off every day.
with your friends. Just have a peace off
Yeah, just peace off.
with the mailman, with your
Exactly,
teachers.
exactly. Anybody you interact with.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say, Alfie?
War is bad.
Yes, for everyone, for both sides.
Yes.
Yes,
Everyone loses in war.
I agree. I think it's just not beneficial to society. And with that, I think that brings, let's see, 33 minutes. I think that brings this episode to a close.
Yeah,
Y-
that's a good wrap up.
if you guys have been watching, you know the drill. Just write in if you have something to say. Follow, share, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're 6 episodes in, and this is our 6th episode,
Okay.
and we haven't gotten a single write-in. That's unfortunate.
You guys are breaking our hearts.
Yeah. I would love to read some of your guys' write-ins.
We might even
but
read them on the podcast if they're like appropriate, I guess. We'll read.
yeah,
I mean, they don't have to be
be
nice.
family friendly.
Yeah, be family friendly. Even if it's hate, we'll read the hate on the podcast, or critiques. Critiques would be nice as well. Anything.
Yeah,
We'll take it all. Just be family friendly.
maybe just no profanity or anything. Or
Yes, exactly, exactly. Don't say any cuss words, or else we won't read them, or we will read them, but we'll edit it out, so then it's just mostly silence, and nobody wants to hear that. So on a podcast, like, come on. And with that,
yeah,
thank you for listening or watching on YouTube, and goodbye.
goodbye.
Craig left.